Right, let's get into this video.
Wait,
we're gonna draw.
Stop.
What?
Before you go into just drawing random stuff, let's learn about 3D space. And I think I know the perfect place to learn about 3D space.
Say hello to Minecraft me. Right, so what we need to do is learn about the basic form of a box so that it's going to help us draw, and the perfect place to do that is going to be in Minecraft. So while I build this box, make sure you've got a pen and paper or a pencil and you're ready to go. So the first thing to know about drawing a box is you can only ever see 3 sides. So now we know that, there's only one thing to do. Let's blow it up. I hope the cow's... Oh, don't comment on the cow dying, please. I didn't mean for the cow to die. Okay, so we're going to draw a box. We're starting off with a square or rectangle shape, and then from the corners we're just going to draw out a diagonal line. Once you get your first diagonal line, you've got to make sure all the other diagonal lines match up. And also have a go at drawing through the box like it's a glass box, because this is going to really help you understand the 3D space. Okay, so that's the first way to do it. A lot of people do their boxes and they think, oh, I know there's lots of sides to it, and they're not looking at a box and they forget you can only see 3 sides, and you end up with a weird looking box like that. So make sure you don't do that. Remember, you can only see 3 sides. You've got the face, the top, and then one side on the right or left. Okay, the other thing you're going to need to be able to do for 1, 2 and 3 point perspective is to be able to draw a box using the diagonal edge, or the edge first. This is like the Y method, not a little lowercase y, it's got to be a capital Y. I always think doing it this way looks like a book, so you've got the sides of the book and then you add like a diamond shape on top. And you're going to need this technique to do 2 or 3 point perspective. So now you can draw a box, you're going to need to know how perspective works. In the olden days, before perspective was invented, everything looked weird and flat. But luckily, some clever artists invented perspective, and now we can enter the amazing world of Minecraft. So, in Minecraft, it's really easy to see the horizontal line, the horizon. An easy way to explain what the horizon is where the sky basically meets the floor. And everything in this world basically looks like it's getting sucked into the horizon. So let's go into Minecraft and have a look what that looks like. First, I'm going to make a gigantic box. So while I'm doing this, you can practice drawing your boxes. And there it is, the giant perspective box. As you move around, you can actually see the perspective going in play. Some sides are fatter and it looks like it's getting sucked out into the distance. So if we have a look at this part, when you're drawing your box in perspective, this bit's just going to be your square or your rectangle shape, and that won't change. But what will change is the edges, and they're going to go out towards the vanishing point. So the vanishing point is going to be around here somewhere. It should be on the horizon, but I think my computer can't see far enough into the distance to see the actual horizon. So we're going to draw along this line to get your guideline, and then draw along the bottom line to get your other guideline. And you can see if the box was longer and longer, it would just get sucked into that vanishing point at the end. And it's the same for the lines on the other side. So somewhere in here is your vanishing point. So these lines get sucked off into the distance. But the lines that go up and down will go on forever and never meet. And the lines that go horizontally left and right will go on forever, and they'll never meet either. In 1 point of perspective, the only lines that will go and converge together are the lines going into the distance. So if we draw a box and connect it to the vanishing point, or try to, you can see the upward line and the one that goes left and right are just going straight up and straight right. The lines going into the distance aiming towards that vanishing point, and that's what gives the impression that it's getting smaller at the edge. Okay, so to do this in your book, we're going to draw the horizon line and we're going to put the vanishing point right in the middle. So if we're going to draw a road or railway track into our picture, it would vanish or look like it's getting sucked into that vanishing point. So we're going to use the square face to start with, or rectangle, doesn't really matter. And when you've got that in place, we're going to use these diagonal lines that are going to go down towards the vanishing point. It's probably easier to use a ruler if you want to, so this will make sure that your lines are nice and straight. So I'm just pressing down really lightly to get some guidelines, and I'm going to do the back of the box as well so it looks like I can see the inside. And this is where it starts to get a little bit complicated because you've got to know what lines to connect up. So we're going to start with this line going down towards the vanishing point and the other side to draw in the side of the box. And let's put the end in, and if we do the other corner, we've got our first side that's going towards the vanishing point. Now if we do the bottom, if we carry along from here and make it the same, we can easily just join up to create the bottom of the box. And then this is where actually I always find this the trickiest bit, to draw through the box. We're just going to try and connect up the lines that go through the box so we can see through it. It's important that the front edge of your box is the same shape as the back edge of your box. It's just a smaller version. That's how you've done it right. So if you want to, let's draw some more squares on the page and have a go at practicing that. If you go wrong, don't worry too much. I didn't do it every one of these right. I had to recorrect them and have another look at them. But that's why we're doing lots and lots of them, so you can start to get used to it. And if you're not very good with a ruler yet, you can do it freehand, but it's a good chance to practice with your ruler. I always think the hardest part is drawing through the box and being able to draw the back of it. But it's important to do this because if you want to draw anything in perspective, like a body looking up from the floor, it's easier to put it into perspective. You'll be able to draw the wire box and then start to construct the person inside that box. That's what's going to make that person look 3D and give a real dynamic look to the picture. So let's go back into Minecraft and have a look at our giant perspective box. If you take this front edge here and we measure it up against one of the other edges, in reality they should be the same size, but because of perspective it appears like it's getting stretched or getting smaller as it goes towards the vanishing points, and this happens on both sides, so that's how we know it's definitely 2-point perspective. Let's put in some guidelines to see just about where these vanishing lines are. So if we trace along the top here with the ruler and stretch it out down to the same line, and then do the same again along the bottom, and just we're going to have to make that top line a bit longer. We know our vanishing point is going to be at the edge somewhere here, and then if we do the same on the other side, it's getting smaller as it goes away. We've got the vanishing point here. So that's what 2-point perspective is. If we draw a line in, you can see this time, you can see it's almost bang on the horizon line. So we need to do the same thing in our book. Right, so for the 2-point perspective, we need to do the Y style way of drawing the box. So I hope you had a go at practicing those. And we start off with a line that goes straight down, and then we're going to connect up the top and bottom to our right hand side vanishing point. Keep your lines nice and light. So I haven't gone all the way down because I'm not going to draw a box that is that long, so you don't have to go all the way down. And then because this is 2-point perspective, I'm going to match the lines that go straight down with the first one I drew. And just neaten all that up so we can see it nice and clearly. So this box that I'm drawing now, you can see from underneath, and the first box I drew up on the top, you can see it's from above, so the perspective's completely different. Everything above the horizon lines, you're going to look as if you're looking from underneath it, and everything below the horizon line, it's going to look like you're looking down on it. So if we add in the base of the box first, then we can have a go at drawing through the box. Okay, so when I draw that first line, I like to go up quite high. It doesn't matter if your lines cross over. If you're doing it lightly, you can rub them out if it's important. So this side on the left is going to go to the right vanishing point, and you can stop at that line you made. And this side on the right hand side, you can just connect it to the first two lines, but it would go all the way down to the vanishing point on the left. And then I'm just going to colour in the top of the box to hopefully make it a little bit easier to see what's going on. Okay, so let's speed it up and do some more. So with these, I find these really tricky to do, and because what's annoying with it is if you're not great with your ruler, you end up not matching the lines up perfectly well. So what's a good tip is put your pencil down first where you want to start the line, and then bring your ruler up against it, and then swizzle the ruler around against your pencil lead and line it up that way. And if you do get them wrong, it doesn't matter too much. It's more important that you're understanding how to do it. Okay, so let's go on to 3-point perspective. So in this one, it's exactly the same as 2-point perspective. You've got your left and your right ones, but the third one's going to be either above it or below it. If you're below the box that you're drawing, the vanishing point's going to be above it. And in Minecraft, you can see they've put the vanishing point way, way, way above the box. This is because if you have a vanishing point and I drew it on my piece of paper here, the shape of the box would be crazy. It would look really weird. It would look like a pyramid almost. So what I'm going to do is just show you how to do it. You have to either imagine your vanishing lines way off your page, or you can put a marker or have a gigantic piece of paper to do it. So I'm doing the same rules on the top V, or the top triangle bit I've just drawn. They go to the first two vanishing points, and on the third vanishing point I'm going to use this pen as a marker so you can see. So I'll draw down and then I'll line it up again with this pen and draw down. So from the horizon they have to all aim towards that top vanishing point. And you can see it looks like a massive skyscraper from this angle. So the other way to do 3-point perspective is to do the horizon line higher up in the air, and then put your 2 points down and your third point can be underneath. Now if you want it to look more realistic, you can do what I did with the pen. You can make your vanishing point off the edge of the paper, but I thought I'd show you what it would look like if you don't do that. So we're just going to put in the top of the building, so we're looking down on it, and then we're going to add in the lines that go towards the vanishing point, so straight down towards that last vanishing point, and the bottoms will match up to our first two vanishing points. And you can put a few details in, and then you can do 3-point perspective. Now there's only one thing left to do, and that is blow up my massive box. So I filled it with dynamite just to see what will happen. The most important thing when you're doing this is that you're drawing straight lines. So if you're struggling with that, have a look at this video, which is going to test your basic skills drawing straight lines, ellipses, and much, much more. So check it out. This is not right. I think my computer can't handle this at all. It should just be exploding really big. What? Oh my computer completely cannot handle this at all. I thought it was going to be so spectacular and it's just a glitchy mess. Well, anyway, I tried to blow it up. I don't think any cows are going to die. Oh, it's going. It's so glitchy. It's never ending. It's just glitching all the time. Oh, it took me hours to fill that with TNT. Oh.